Up next on Scifiantasy, Dawn of Justice Batmobile finale. Hey everybody, it's Kenny Conklin from Scifiantasy.com and welcome to another YouTube video. Today we're going to take a look at the Dawn of Justice Batmobile from Jason Marshall. He's going to walk you through the end of the build all the way up to the final part of it. So let's take a look at that in a second, but first off, thank you everybody that's been hitting the subscribe button, and if you can keep hitting that and the little notification icon, this way you know when all of our YouTube videos are up on the channel. And now we're going to get over to Jason and see what he's up to.
Well, here she is. The completed Batman versus Superman, Dawn of Justice Batmobile, also seen the Suicide Squad. Wire sticking at the back because I use 9-volt plug-in power supply, not batteries. Just to give you a quick look at things, especially the forward part. Marker lights and fiber optic headlights, which we talked about before. The thing I regret the most is making a mistake here. Two things. I used slightly larger SMDs on this side than this side, and I screwed up the placement. Didn't realize it until I got it together, and the way this all goes together was too much of a pain to take out. So, and as I said before, these guys are smoked, and just to reduce the intensity, I don't like out of scale lighting. Very happy with how the headlights turned out, and as you see, once again, the cables, the fiber optic lines are imitating the power cables. So I was very happy with that. This has definitely grown on me after having built one. This whole area at the back was frustrating. I'll get into that in a minute. And of course the interior, I did not split this because I didn't want to. Your completed interior, I'll just zoom in on that. So yeah, nice detail, the roll bar, the back piece, and I don't know if this will show up. It's hard to tell, but all the instrument cluster and whatnot is lit up. And we got no light leaks, which is super awesome. A couple things I need to do yet. I need to do a bit of a wash to bring out these etched lines and do a bit of weathering. But I actually do that as part of another element of Scifiantasy. Once again, this comes back to my love-hate relationship with Moebius. There's a number of spots I think it could have been engineered well, like these side panels. There's not a lot holding them on. And as such, I did test fitting and made sure I didn't get any paint on the edges where they meet the chassis so I'd get a good bond. Biggest thing, follow the instructions. This whole area is at the back, as Interstellar Modeler will tell you, is very, very difficult to deal with. And let me bring that up here. When you're looking at the instructions, the lower half of the upper chassis where the cockpit fits in goes in. Now, test fit it, because this guy needs to be glued onto these curved areas. So you need to make sure these aren't painted and a matching area isn't painted there as well. Then these go in and they clip into various spots on the back retaining wall in here. Between this and these, they hold the whole back of the car together. So it's very fiddly, very frustrating, but just be very careful with these two steps in particular and you're going to be fine. The only other thing is it shows the cockpit fitting in after this is on. It's a little tricky. You kind of got to go down and forward and then push down the back, but otherwise it's good to go. And these guys here for the wings, the additional supports, these are frustrating. Not as frustrating as the tumbler though. As a comparison, you can see that the new Batmobile is a monster compared to the tumbler. But yeah, same thing. All these little supports, and there's ones hidden back in here. Very fiddly on both of them, very frustrating. But your finished products make it all worthwhile. So there it is, the new Batmobile. I hope you enjoyed the build-up. I'm sorry it wasn't as in-depth as other ones I've done, but I found this kit very frustrating. Oh, and one more thing. The detail on here. I used the paint masks that came with the Photo-Etch to mask the windows, and they're brilliant. Like no paint leak at all. So I definitely recommend the Greenstrawberry Photo-Etch set and resin pieces that come with it to truly finish this model. And once again, my only complaint is that in Canada this is almost $60, and if you didn't have the Photo-Etch, you'd have a great big open spot right here. You'd have no roll bar, no detail here, so you'd have to spend another $50. So it makes almost a $100 model kit to make it look right. Once again, this is why I sometimes dislike Moebius, because they leave out detail on kits with a very, very high price point. Not super high, but high enough. So I hope you enjoyed the build, and when we get to the weathering, yeah, like I said, this is very fiddly back here, but once you do some test fitting, it'll be nice and smooth. Oh, and you can see I still need to paint those photo etch inserts. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed the build. I hope there were a couple things that made maybe not lighting easier, but more accessible. And I hope you come back when we do some fundamentals in Scifiantasy, and we'll talk about weathering, and we'll use this as the base for that.
So that's it on the Dawn of Justice Batmobile build. We'd like to thank Jason for taking the time out to build the model, and we'd like to thank Greenstrawberry for sending over the aftermarket parts for the kit. So keep an eye out for more builds and more reviews and stuff like that from Jason on the channel. And we'd like to thank you again, as we do front and back of the videos, for hitting the subscribe button and the little notification bell. And also, if you're trying to get to Scifiantasy.com right now, it's going to be down and a little wonky until about a week or two, until I get all the articles moved over to a new theme, which will actually make the site run a bit faster. Well, not a bit, a lot faster than what it was. So thanks again, everybody, for stopping by. I hope you all have a great night. Take care, and bye-bye.